Hello and welcome to the Voices podcast of Student Outreach. I am your host for today. I am Savannah, and we have a very special guest with us, Piyush sir. He is the Chief Revenue Officer of Inshorts Media. Welcome, Piyush sir.
Thank you, Sana, for such a nice introduction.
Thank you so much, sir. So, today we'll explore your career journey, your industry insights, and we'll, ask for advices for aspiring professionals in this field. So, should we begin?
Yeah, please go ahead. So,
All right. So, beginning with your career journey, what was your career journey like leading up to your current role as a chief revenue officer?
so for anybody to be, if they choose this path where they end up as a CRO, so people in our field, they basically have to start off with the sales or a marketing profile. And from the beginning, I was very clear that I'll be going into the sales. Uh, as I've spoken earlier, nobody plans to be a CRO or CFO tomorrow, because as you start going up the bottle, the funnel, it becomes thinner and thinner and thinner. So you really have to give good, hard years in sales and marketing. And then finally, based on what kind of a skill level you have, very few people will then end up as a CRO or whatever the topmost, because CRO is considered as one of the topmost, where they are responsible for the whole revenue for the company.
Right. So, it sounds like each step of your career helped you build your necessary skills and experiences of your current role, right?
Yeah.
So, what are the current trends and challenges in the digital media and advertising industry that you've faced so far?
So the thing is that digital is a very young industry if you compare it to other people. The digital has only come into the prominence in the last 15, 20 years,
Definitely.
where digital started replacing TV, newspaper, and other mediums. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, and the best part about the digital is that digital is undergoing a lot of transformation in itself also. There was a time when we talk about digital, we used to speak about desktop era. Okay.
Hmm.
And then very soon it become a mobile era. So digital in itself is going through a lot of transitions. So if you look back, you speak to your parents, they somebody who has been grown up on a desktop. They have no
Hmm.
idea about a laptop. Okay. Young kids, they have only seen laptops. If you show them a desktop, they will not be able to relate to it. And now all of a sudden everything has been kicked out, and now we are on the mobile phones.
Absolutely.
So digital challenge is basically that we keep on transforming every year. And now the biggest challenge which is coming, so this is the challenge also, and this is the trend also,
Hmm.
because people need to reskill themselves as per the new platform. Okay. uh, is the new thing now is the AI, which is now
Absolutely.
combined with the data. So the
Right.
trend is AI, and the challenge is also AI tomorrow, because AI will completely abolish the jobs what people are doing right now. So today, yeah, you were saying something?
Uh, yes. So,
Yeah,
do you think, like, as you're saying that AI will be challenging us tomorrow, while it's also like benefiting us today, so
right.
there's like a high chance that we might like our skillship and our qualifications might be jeopardized because of AI.
See, it might happen. But the thing is that as human beings, what we have seen, people do make transformation. It is painful for certain set of people when that transition is happening, because all people are not up to the mark. Everybody is not able to upskill themselves in that span of time. Okay, so there's still people who are selling newspaper. There's still people who are doing a lot of stuff on the TV, but that thing is not growing. But for them to get out of there is also a problem,
Right. Absolutely.
right? So with the AI right now, the thing is that AI is not what we are seeing right now. AI will be different when we start using it with the data.
Hmm.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so this is for sure. Today, if we need 10 people for a certain job, AI, we don't need more than 2 3 people with the AI.
Right.
So obviously, it might open up more avenues tomorrow, but it's very difficult right now to say what other opportunities AI will create for us, because we are not seeing AI right now. We are basically in the hardware era of AI. We are not in the software era of AI. So what is going to happen and what is going to hamper people is the software era of the AI, not the hardware era.
Right.
So once the software comes out, it starts performing the jobs, because right now it's in a very nascent stage. Everybody is just guessing what AI can do, or it can be dangerous, or it can be this, blah, blah. But the thing is, the reality is that definitely it will be in a far better shape. Everybody is just defining it right now, right? And you might have seen on the TV already, even for hosting and asking questions, people just can create an image, right? And that
Absolutely.
AI can ask all those questions, you can feed in them, and then you can run a podcast. Very simple.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So even the interview which we guys are doing face to face via Zoom, it's a kind of an AI if you look at closely. Otherwise, we might have to, either you guys have to come down, or somebody you have to pick up from the same city. This gives us
Yes.
this luxury also.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So this is how. So it's a good thing, but yeah. But I'll say still, digital is the industry where people should focus as of now, if they are interested into advertising, this and that. Apart from that, it will be very difficult for me to comment on the other sectors like science, or I can't say that.
So, moving on with certain skills and qualifications, what kind of skills and qualifications do you look for when you are hiring young professionals for your team?
So honestly speaking, when I'm hiring a young professional, what I am looking for is a self motivation. I am not looking for him to be, champ in that industry, because
Mm.
somebody who has not sold that, if I am expecting something on that scale, because people need to understand they have to learn for the first 5 years. You cannot perform, you simply learn. There's so much to learn. You first learn, then you perform, and then you learn how to perform consistently. So up to 5 years, what I'm looking for in people or kids is like basically they have the ears to listen, and they have the mind to learn. I want them to learn. I don't want them to prove.
Right.
Whatever they have to prove in the interview. Post that on the job, a person should be self motivated. A person should be doing a job which he loves. So this is basically what I look in a people when I'm hiring, that they just don't want to do it for money. They want to do it because they like it, they love it, and they want to do something big tomorrow in the same industry. You will meet up a lot of people, right? You meet up kids also, they take science and then take humanities, and they end up doing something else.
Yeah.
So more sync people will make. It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. Something goes wrong, a person should be, yeah, I made a mistake. I want to, correct it. I want to learn it. Make a mistake, but don't repeat it. So
Mm.
go getters and self motivation. It's very important, and it's the same skill, which you guys need for your studies. Nothing changes. What you are doing right now is the study, right? School. Tomorrow, school will be replaced by a company. So it's going to be the same work ethics with which you succeed in a school. You need a same work ethics when you work for a company.
Absolutely.
It's just that you will be more responsible for your decisions when you work for a company. There will be people, more people looking closely and ready to help, because there is
Right.
no CBSE or ICSE, board you have to follow, or education. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just gives you more freedom to make mistakes, and more the mistakes people make, I'll say, make as many mistakes in start of your career you can do,
Hmm.
but don't repeat them.
Right.
If mistakes are being repeated, it's dangerous.
It can turn into a habit as well. So,
It's already a habit. If it's repeating, it will not turn
repeating.
into a habit. It's already a
Yeah.
habit. So now that person has to get out of it. It's already a habit. That's what I'm saying. Always measure what you do if you want to succeed. If people will not measure what they are doing, if they will not measure what they're trying to achieve, they will never understand the gap between the achievement and the goal.
Absolutely.
Only even if you succeed, measure. Even if you fail, measure. When you will measure, by how much you fail, why you failed. But then it also gives you a plan that, even if I failed, I can do 30%. Even if I failed, I know now how to do 40%. Then you work on your weaknesses. But When people doesn't measure, success will not come, because then it will only be a luck, it will only be chances, it will only be a lottery. So learn, measure, and be self-motivated. It will be very important for the people.
Mm, right, absolutely correct. So, sir, since you've mentioned that learning, the process of learning is like very important, especially in this beginning of a career. So, how important is continuous learning and the skill development in our career, and how do you stay updated with the industry changes?
So the first and foremost, learning and reskill is going to be a lifelong exercise. Okay, there is no full stop. You continuously do that. See, if you want to grow in life, you have to continuously work on yourself. It's very simple. And the only way we can work on ourselves is when we are working on ourselves, by reskilling ourselves. We are ready to learn new things. When you're ready to learn new things, you will automatically know about the new industry trends, because you're trying to learn, you're trying to figure out what is happening in the industry. So then you will automatically know what are the trends in the industry, so you don't have to search for it.
Absolutely.
Right, you will automatically understand the challenges where you are lacking vis-a-vis the trends. And once you understand the challenges, and once you do a self assessment, so you know there is a need to reskill, or you have to learn something new, and then things automatically happen. Again, the key thing here is the measurement. If you will continuously measure yourself, continuously measure your skills, sky is the limit. Okay, the passion is driven, passion will drive you everywhere. So whatever you
Absolutely.
want to achieve in life later, it's going to be byproduct. When I started my career, I never wanted to be CRO. I loved sales, I loved interacting with the people, I am a social guy. I just followed my passion, and then later on ended as a CRO. I don't treat it as something special, I just say it's a huge responsibility job. It's not that being
Absolutely.
CRO it stamps me of something special. I think company give me something bigger to do for the company. So there is a lot of responsibility. But this is not a guarantee that it's a success now. If anything I do after a CRO, it's gonna be great. What I have to make sure that whatever I do, I enjoy it. I feel being happy, right? When you go to school, you feel bad. If somebody loves going to the school, they will feel bad. Why there is Saturday I'm not meeting my friends? Why there is
Mm,
a Sunday? I want to go to school. Why there is a 30 days? That is passion. That is love. And that is what we want people to do. Follow your passion. Discover your passion. Passion will not come knocking on your door. You have to discover your passion.
absolutely correct, sir.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, sir, since you're mentioning that you never really thought of becoming the chief revenue officer before, but now that
Right.
you are a chief revenue officer, what is a typical day like, or like a week like in your role as a chief revenue officer?
So my typical day, what I have to do, I have to do a lot of firefighting. Number one.
Yes,
Yeah, right, because there will be a lot of conflicts in the team, there will be a lot of things going in. So what I have to do is I have to give a very understandable solution to the people, where it keeps them motivated, but and at the same time doesn't hamper the company. So what is the foremost for the CRO of the company is to make everyone understands that company comes first, no matter what. Nobody is bigger than the company. We are bringing revenue for the company, we are not bringing it to ourselves.
right.
Okay, and revenue is the foremost thing for the company, especially for a startup. See, uh, if I tell you, only there are only two kinds of companies in right now. One is the product driven company, and one will be the sales driven company. Product driven companies are basically legacy businesses which have established themselves for 10 to 15 years, and people are so used to it they will just keep buying it on and on. You don't have to sell it.
Okay.
Okay, and sales driven companies are the companies which just start their businesses. So wherever, when a company is sales driven, these guys will be very powerful over there. But when company is product driven, so sales guys will not have that kind of a power what a product driven company will give.
Right.
Okay, so remember this. Typically in a startup is basically sales driven. For them the revenue is very important.
Right.
So being a CRO, my typical thing is that our growth is in check. There is no unnecessary complications. And the foremost thing is that I have to see far ahead what my colleagues can see. Okay.
Absolutely.
Being a leader, my foremost responsibility is that I should look far. I should have a vision for the company, for its revenues. Being a leader, I have to fail before they fail so I can give the corrections and succeed with them. Okay.
Absolutely, sir. So it's a
Cool. But
very dynamic role that requires both strategic vision and detailed execution to be in your shoes.
yes, it is. Honestly, we never thought when you grow up, right? Even when you will start your career, you will understand, you will think your manager's job is very easy.
Hmm.
I can do this. They don't do anything. They just sit. You know, that's what we used to say for our teachers and when for our managers. But then slowly you realize it's just the grass is greener. Otherwise, there's a lot of hard work. Everyone who
Absolutely.
succeeds, trust me, there is a lot of hard work. Yes, he might. Some people might have gone lucky, but uh, nothing comes without a hard work.
Absolutely. So it's a lot
Yeah.
of step-by-step process that we need to focus in and move along.
Right.
Right. So moving on with what are the key attributes or qualities that you believe to contribute to success in the field of digital media and advertising?
So the core value, Sana, is the same that you should be ready to learn.
Hmm.
You are not waiting for somebody in your company to come and tell you that you have to perform. You have to cross your benchmarks. Don't be
Absolutely.
happy what you have achieved. You have to set new benchmarks. So we are always looking for somebody when we want leaders for tomorrow. We just don't want people who just come here in a transit job, will work sometime for a year, they don't have a vision, and then they will move on, they will work in some other company and things are done. What we are looking for is we are looking for a leaders. So a person who is a leader, he will have a long term objective. He will not work on the short term objectives, because short term objectives are very dangerous. They might serve your short term needs, but they will jeopardize your long term objectives.
Absolutely.
And sometimes, when you zoom too much, what you see, you don't see the bigger problem. You will only solve a part of a problem by zooming in. Okay. So we want people who are ready to listen, who are ready to learn. What if you're not, I hire you, if you're not ready to learn, if you're not ready to work, that's the problem you'll see with lots of kids who do maths. Okay. People who
Yes.
don't try to learn the formula and how it actually, things, and they just cram it ki a plus b is equal to a square plus b square something, they end up in a problem later.
Right.
So short term in class 5, 6, 7, yes, it will solve your problem. But then it becomes a bigger problem in 8, 9, and 10, 11. It will even become a bigger problem. Now you don't have a chance to go back and tell that I have not learned it properly few years back.
Yeah, definitely.
So make sure, first of all, from day one, you guys know what you just don't get hired because somebody wants to get you in the team. Get hired because you want to work. Very simple. Okay. Big company, we want to hire you, please come, you come. No, whether you want to, what is the reason? I'll always ask yourself, what is my reason for working this company? What is that I want to do? Are these two things aligned? Okay. See, my words might look heavy to you guys, okay, but trust me, only when you will start practicing, when they will go right, that is the time when you will say that we have arrived. Okay. I am
Absolutely.
not saying whatever I tell you, you will start falling from tomorrow. But even if you succeed once, you will understand the value of what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very important that you work for your happiness. Don't work for other people's happiness. Okay. Put your goals. If you're not able to achieve it, it's fine. Tell yourself that I have not achieved my goals. Okay, when
Hmm.
the time will come, I'll try to achieve them. But by not having any goals, even if you don't do an effort, still put a goal. What is that you want to do? If you're doing humanities right now, just see what is it you want to do tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And there is no compulsion that you end up achieving it. It doesn't make you less of a human being or less of a student or less of an employee. See, if you can't fly, you can't fly, right? Tiger
Definitely.
can't fly, but it's still a tiger.
Yes.
So we need to find out our strengths. We need to be hired on our strengths. We need to be hired on our attributes. We need to be hired for what we like. So even on every job, if you discover one or two, three things, it will take you a long way. Okay. Happiness, right kind of a work, and passion is something which is more important. Money is not the parameter for a success. This is for shallow people.
Right.
But unfortunately, success is looking through the glasses of a money. More money people have, we think they're more successful. Blah blah.
Definitely.
So I don't believe in that. Money you can earn, but you will never get respect.
I agree with you. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. And so, these are like integral qualities that we need to have to be thriving in this field.
Right.
How can students make the most of their internships or of early, or like starting in their early careers,
Yeah.
opportunities to build a strong foundation in this industry?
So when kids are actually trying for an internship, again, they should not just get into an internship because they're getting an internship, or they get into internship because it's a big name. And now
Hmm.
I got a bragging rights on my friends, and I'll go back. I had done it with the PwC. But what have you done in PwC? Okay. Treat internship also as your first job. Please make sure internship is the small step towards the bigger step tomorrow in your life. Just because
Definitely.
college got that, that company or something, a school got that company, and you have to go through that placement, please market what is important for you. Learning a skill right now is important. Which are the companies for tomorrow? Companies for tomorrow are the companies which people we don't know today. Process driven companies, they already have their process. They just need people to finish the process. They don't want people to think, right? A big company, everything is already there. But just see what kind of an temperament, what kind of an attitude you have, right? Are you the one who can go with the larger set of people? Are you the one who needs freedom? Are you the one, you how you like to work? You don't like to be somebody, monitoring you like a CCTV 24 into 7. Then look for a company which will give you more freedom.
Definitely.
Even decide your internships very seriously. Don't take it like just we just have to do it and then we'll go there, we'll just make a rampant thing, or somebody will just get a certificate from someone that we have done 2 months internship, it's okay. So treat it as your first job. That's what I'm saying. If you make all these mistakes now, when you will actually go to work, so you have already done the hard work.
Hmm.
You have already gone through that rigorous, you're not worried when you're sitting next. You should ask questions to the people. Any leader who gets irritated by the questions, that means that is not the place,
Right.
right? So even when you're doing internships, ask the hard questions. Please mark your personality. What is that you want to do? What is that will make you happy? And those kind of things should be asked to the person who is interviewing you. But please do it in your field.
Hmm.
Please do it in your thing that you want to achieve tomorrow. Very sure. Okay. Otherwise, things will not contribute. I have seen a lot of people who have randomly changed industries, and then it becomes a problem for them down the line.
Right.
Okay. So, but first 5 years, be it internship, be it your first job, be it your second job, I will humbly request you guys, for the first 5 years of your life, don't chase money, chase skill, chase temperament, chase how to do things better. Money will come long. We guys will like started working at 21 and we'll keep working till 60. So first 5 years, Even if you don't earn a lot of money, it doesn't really make much of a difference. Okay. All the big companies have been made by the people who have actually dropped out from the premier institutes. So, so that doesn't mean people who finish they don't do, but the thing is that people who drop out they also do.
Yes,
So let's not get clouded by few certain examples, right? Just always be sure that what are your positives, what are your attributes, what are your strengths, and work on them and keep working on your weaknesses. That's it. That will be the best part. How you, if you want, somebody wants to build a career in a job or even in a business, so you still need all that.
definitely. Also, so since you're mentioning that it's such a long process and that we need to, you know, work through it very carefully, we need to manage our attitude and like definitely look at the right place where our passion belongs and be curious and ask questions and get to know the field without fearing of judgment. So,
Right.
how has your role challenged you personally?
So, as I've told you earlier, also, Swana, making a mistake is not a bad thing. Okay. Why should we be fearful of judgment? Let people judge you.
Hmm.
What is wrong in that? There's nothing wrong as long as it is fair. Problem should be with the unfair judgments. If I don't know a thing and somebody comes and tell me you're not doing a good job, see, when you will enter a job market or when you are outside, it's the relativity which matters,
Hmm. Right.
right? If you want to be the topmost, your work has to be the topmost. It has to be best. It has to be better than everyone. If your work is not best and better than everyone, then please keep yourself open to the judgments. Okay. When you are shaping an art, right, or you are sculpting a sculpture, you cut down things, right? But that
Ab-
doesn't mean that, so you're just roughing up the bad corners. So
yes.
all these things will make you good. All these things will teach you how to handle all this. Open yourself to the criticism. Open yourself to the fair judgments. That is how you will improve. That is how you will reskill. That is how you will understand what is lacking in ourselves.
Right.
But everything has to be polite from the other party and from your side also.
Definitely.
Okay. Never carry the baggages. Drop them then and there. Okay. How many baggages you can pick? One, two, three. Imagine if 5 years, 10 years, you're just carrying the baggages. You will just have a life under the baggage. That's it. Done. Dusted. Finish.
Absolutely.
If you want to carry a baggage, please leave the previous one.
Hmm.
Okay.
The
So
letting go is a very crucial part.
please understand the difference between once we are out, let go and letting it go.
Yes.
So it's
Absolutely.
very important if people can understand the difference. Okay. And it is very important we focus on these things. Life is simple, job is simple. What you guys have been doing in school, you just have to carry that same thing, your values, your ethics. It is not going to be different when you enter a job. What you learn there after that with the right state of mind will define your success tomorrow. But if you don't do well in a job, also doesn't mean that you're not a good person. Life is not just about doing a job. There's so many parameters to it, right? Job is just one of it.
Absolutely.
Every one of us has a responsibility to the society, to the people, to the things, apart from being having a job, to the family, to the parents, everything. Maybe one thing goes wrong, it's okay. It goes wrong. We don't have to have the baggage of that and carry it and make ourselves even more remorseful. We are not able to do it, we are not able to do it. Accept it. Now, next time when you will do it, you will kill it because you accepted it that you can't do it. Problem is when you don't accept it, you will make the same mistake.
Definitely.
Then we can't run. If you're on a wrong path, even if you run, it's still a wrong path. And on a right path, even if you're slow, it's a right path.
What's meant to be is meant to be.
Yeah. So
Also,
that is how keep defining your things, keep your goals long term, short term, and you see how many of them you are able to achieve. Okay. And how much effort you have actually put to achieve that also. Is it that they're happening by on its own, or you have actually done something different so that you can achieve them faster? And then
definitely.
just again go back, measure them, and then you know where you failed. You guys
Hmm.
can go back and correct it, and next time you can come stronger. If I'm not in good math, say upfront I'm not in good in math. If you're doing a job, you're not liking it, please go and tell your manager, speak to him, talk to him that something is not working for me. Can you help me? He says I can't help you. He says okay, then I have to leave a job. Perfect.
Right.
How will you feel if you say you just left and then the manager says you could have come to me, I could have helped you?
Like very rare. Nobody like looks forward to helping at all. I mean, they're very selfish for themselves.
Right. So keep discovering, keep filtering yourself, and don't assume anything about the other people. Ask them, question them. You don't get the answers now, go and judge whatever you want to do. Perfectly fine. In our company, we believe that argument is better than the agreement.
Absolutely.
Right. If I'm looking for an agreement, if you're gonna say yes only, then there is no need for questions, right?
Also, sir, what has some of your most rewarding experiences so far in your career, like from the start till now?
So in terms of rewarding in the sense you're talking about in terms of like growth in terms of job or as an individual, like
As an
what is
individual and as your growth.
so the best part about me from day one is that I was very clear that uh, I want to be into the sales. Okay. And I have always focused on my job no matter what. This has been my number one priority over a long period of time. I might have overlooked some things, but I was comfortable with that. So again, the thing is that if you're not comfortable, then don't make it a priority. Okay, it's okay. I was comfortable doing it, and I'll say rewarding. If in terms of a growth, I'll say whatever I have learned as an individual over so many years on my 15, 18 years, and I've come to a conclusion. Uh, Basically, what you values you hold as an individual in a personal life, basically you carry them in your professional life.
Absolutely.
There is no two ways that you have a different professional life and a different person. If you lack values and ethics in personal life, they will be reflective in your professional job also.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this thing has given me a lot. Learned a lot over a period of time, which has changed me as an individual. uh, and this is something, even when you will turn 21, when you will turn 26, and when you will turn 30, and you look back, so what you have done at 21, you might not do the same thing in the same way at 26. Okay. The biggest thing which the time, or when you do a job over a period of time, it teaches you is the patience, which is the key to success. It also proves you over a long period of time that impatience doesn't pay. Okay.
Absolutely.
So impatience, as there is a popular saying, is basically will prove you that I am a patient. I need help. That's a true definition when you are impatient.
Definitely.
So that has also made me look at things differently in my personal life also. Things which used to bother me, they are not bothering me anymore. Things at where in life I have understood it is important to be proactive than to be reactive. So that is the biggest change, honestly. Now I don't react to a things. I take my own time. It's even if it's a good or it's a bad,
Right.
unless and until it's life threatening or anything, which will be like once in a lifetime kind of a thing. Yeah. But otherwise, I take my own time because there's so many angles to a problem. There's so many angles to a solution. Every solution that, so I guess you also agree, there are colleges, right? After 12th, there will be colleges and there will be right colleges, right?
Yes.
So there will be so many colleges which are ready to give you an admission, but there is very
Yes.
few right colleges where you want to go.
Absolutely.
So in life also, there will be decisions and there will be right decisions. There will be jobs and there will be right jobs. You have to select. If you're going for a job, then don't expect a lot. If you'll go for a right job, you don't have to expect still anything. It will give you everything itself.
Right.
Okay. But always remember, always be the number one critic of yourself, because then world cannot criticize you. If you overcome disappointment, there is only winning.
So being our own judge is really important.
Analyzer rather than being judge,
Yeah, definitely. I would,
I will
sorry.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, what is the
Yeah,
proper
it will
word?
be good if you can be a good analyzer rather than being judge. Okay. Good
Also,
things need not. Yeah.
so we'll conclude by like I'll ask you like what advice would you give to students who are interested in pursuing a career in digital media or um, advertising?
My advice to them is, only those guys come into this who, who want to interact with the people, who are social, and who are ready to reskill them every 3 years to 5 years. Uh, and on top of it, if they are ready to, challenge other people on a very regular basis.
Right.
Again, what I'm telling you is from a perspective that they want to achieve the utmost thing in the advertising. Okay. Not, I'm not talking about average achievements. If you really want to be the topmost executive, please be ready that you are, ready to handle all this, the criticism, the upskilling, more often than not in than any other industry. So auto, if electric will come, or diesel petrol, it will come like 20 years or something like. But
Right.
in digital, it will keep happening every 5 years. Something big will come which will just disturb the industry completely, and you have to be very skillful, because new people will only be learning that thing. You have to first unlearn yourself and then learn, which is, unlearning is the most difficult part in the world.
Definitely.
So that will be my advice. But uh, I will say, industry A, industry B, if you guys are self motivated, you guys know what you want to achieve, nothing is unachievable in life. Please focus more on being happy, focus more on what you want to do, rather than pleasing people or something which, give you bragging rights and all. First 5 years, 10 years, nothing wrong in that.
Right.
Everything happens. Big people fall, small people fall. Chill, there's nothing wrong. Got into a bad job, it's okay. Accept it's a bad job, move on. Finally, you will end up on your destination if you're going on the right path. Nothing wrong. So don't worry.
That's excellent advice. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Uh,
thanks to you guys and Ajay. And lovely talking to you, Swana. Please have a
Thank
great
you.
future ahead.